A story about power, pride, and the one thing no crown can buy. She had a voice that could stop armies mid-march, silence entire rooms with a whisper. Kingdoms bent at the sound of her name. And one morning, she woke up, and it was gone. The queen who lost her voice. Her name was Vaelora, and she did not enter rooms. She conquered them. Tall, armored in gold that caught light like a second sun, eyes the color of deep forest, emerald, cold, calculating. People said her voice was not a voice at all. It was a verdict. One word from her lips could dissolve a man's courage like salt in rain. Out. Silence. Kneel. 3 words. That was all she ever needed. Her council of advisors, they had learned long ago, never speak. First, they waited, they nodded, they survived. Her kingdom was efficient, her borders were feared, her treasury overflowed. By every measure that power counted, Vaelora had won. But here is what no history book recorded. At night, when the palace fell quiet, Vaelora would stand at her window, watching the lights of the city below. Hundreds of them. Thousands. Lives she had never asked about. Names she had never learned. Voices she had never permitted to reach her ears. She told herself it didn't matter. A queen doesn't need to listen. A queen speaks. And she believed it. For 20 years, she believed it. Until the morning she decided to enter the forest that no crown had ever touched. The Whispering Forest. No map marked it correctly. No soldier had ever returned to describe it fully. They said it was old. Older than the kingdom. Older than language itself. Old enough to remember a time when no human voice had ever demanded anything of the world. Her generals told her not to go. She went. Her advisors warned her. She smiled. That cold, surgical smile, and went. Because somewhere in the arrogance that had built her entire identity was a small buried belief that she could conquer anything, even this. The forest changed as she entered it. The sounds of the kingdom fell away, instantly, completely, as though cut by a blade. No birds, no wind, no echo of her own footsteps. Just the feeling of being watched, not by eyes, by memory. At the heart of the forest, Ilarion, the cedar spirit. If you have ever stood beside a tree so old it has forgotten more than you will ever know, that is the closest I can bring you to understanding what Vaelora saw. Ilarion rose from the earth like a cathedral made of wood and time. Its bark pulsed with faint amber light. Not fire, not magic as she understood it, but something older. Consciousness. It did not bow. Of course it didn't. Trees don't bow to storms. They simply outlast them. Vaelora stared up at it. Something flickered in her. Something small, unfamiliar. Was it awe? She crushed it immediately, stepped forward, and spoke. A spirit that refuses to acknowledge its queen. She tilted her chin upward. I have made kings kneel. I have silenced councils. I have ended wars with 3 words. A cold smile crept across her face. You are a tree. Kneel. Nothing. Not even the wind responded. The forest simply waited. And in that waiting, in that unbroken, patient, ancient silence, Vaelora felt something she had not felt in 20 years. Ignored. It cracked something open inside her. Something ugly. She inhaled, and she screamed. Not a word, not a command, just pure, unfiltered rage. The sound that tore from her throat had been building for 20 years. Every moment someone had questioned her. Every doubt she had buried under ceremony. Every night at that window, watching lives she had never touched. It all came out at once. Raw, furious, terrified, complete, absolute, final. The forest exhaled, and the sound was simply gone. Not faded, not fading, gone like it had never existed. Vaelora inhaled, opened her mouth. Nothing. She tried again. A rasp, broken, fragile, like the first sound of a person who has never spoken before, or the last sound of someone who finally has. She pressed her hand to her throat. The thunder was gone. In its place, silence, her own. She returned to the palace without a word, because she had no choice. Pity. The council met the next morning. For the first time in 20 years, they spoke without being asked. Haltingly, nervously, like men testing ice they aren't sure will hold. But they spoke, and Vaelora, who had never permitted it, had nothing to stop them with. She sat at the head of the table and listened. The silence at that table was different from the forest's silence. That one had been alive. This one was lonely. Days passed, then weeks. She tried everything she had always used to command the world's attention. Gold pressed into the hands of healers. They shook their heads. Scrolls dispatched to every wise woman and sorcerer in every corner of the kingdom. None came with an answer. Magic performed by 3 different court wizards at great expense and greater drama. Nothing. Because what had been taken from her was not simply sound. It was the armor she had worn every single day of her life. Without her voice, who was Vaelora? She stood at her window again one night, the same view, the same lights. But now she could hear something she had always dismissed. The city, actually living. Laughter drifting up from somewhere below, an argument that ended in forgiveness. She had ruled this city for 20 years. She had never once listened to it and walked back into the forest alone. For 20 years, the world obeyed her voice. But now, the forest had chosen silence, and for the first time in her life, Queen Vaelora was powerless. But do you know what Vaelora will do now?